All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, before we begin this lesson, of course, we want to give all praises, all glory, and honor to
YAHAWAH,
BAHASHAM,
YAHAWASHI,
BAHASHAM,
BAHASHAM.
HaKadosh. All right, also, we want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that do rule and teach well. And as always, peace, love, and many blessings unto the elect. All right, we the brothers from Great Millstone Atlanta Camp coming back to the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI with another quick lesson. Lord willing, we do hope and pray that it's edifying. Okay, I got this article here up on the screen, which I'm pretty sure you brothers and sisters have heard by now. And if you haven't, then we're here to let you know that, a major strike potentially is going to take place here in America in the next couple of days. Now, this strike is not a strike of entertainment, or, it's not a strike of, your wants, but your necessities. All of your food shipments, all of your medical supplies, all of your daily necessities that you need could possibly be at a standstill. Okay? And that's because why? Because you have these port workers who, under the union, they're demanding for a higher substantial pay. Mm-hmm. Okay? And if they don't reach it, then they're planning to strike. Okay? Now, I'm going to just read just some little bullet points from the article, and we're going to go ahead and jump into the scriptures. Because the Bible prophesies of an economic crash anyway. Mm-hmm. Okay? But it says how a massive port worker strike could scramble the 2024 election. Mind you, we are going into the elections here. Mm-hmm. Within 2 to 3 months, we'll know who the next United States presidents will be. Okay? It says a lengthy work stoppage could drive up prices and delay imports of automobiles, bananas, and even Christmas decor, which is going to be more than that. Okay? It's going to be more than that. Medical supplies, there's all kind of things that's being shipped from countries across seas that if they don't come through the port, then a lot of you Americans are going to suffer on the back end. Okay? So I'm going to just read a quick little bulletin point and get right to it. It says, ports along the east and Gulf Coast are on the verge of dock workers' strike that could damage the U.S. economy just a month before the election, creating a political quandary for President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. Now, it goes to speak about how it's a strike from a union called the International Longshoremen Association. And the president of that association, which goes by the name of Harold Daggett, and he says what? He's willing to push the economy past its breaking point. Okay? So if the economy is pushed past the point of breaking, then that means that there will be an economic collapse, possibly. So we have to see what comes of this. But like the scriptures speak about, here in the book of Zephaniah, the first chapter, it speaks about, a shortage at the docks. Okay? And if you could read that for me, Bible
Yeah, come. Zephaniah 1 and 10. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, there shall be a noise of a cry from the fish gate, and a howling from the second, and a great crashing from the hills.
Yeah, it says a noise of a cry from the fish gate. Now, the fish gate represents docks or ports. Okay, because that's where a lot of the fish, was coming from. They came from the docks. Okay, so if you go to these different major port cities, you'll see, large cargo ships carrying these large, huge containers, and it's full of goods and products. But if you don't have anybody to work those ports, then those products can't be distributed throughout America. Right. So there's going to be a cry. Now, when you look into that word howling, I believe it means a cry of distress. I'm going to get it real quick. Let me see. It says, that word there is Yalala. All right. And it says, a howling of distress or wailing. Does not the scripture say that there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth? Okay, so it's going to be wailing, man. It's going to be people out here crying and screaming and begging for these products to be shipped. Okay, because a lot of companies, they're not going to be able to thrive if they don't get their products from the ports. Yeah. So companies going to go under the water. A lot of people going to lose their livelihood. It could be a straight up and down mess, man. Okay.
Yeah, the word cry right there too. The noise of a cry means cry of distress or outcry. Yeah, so yeah, hey man, that's basically what what's going on right now, man. It's basically a lot going on, over in that around that coast, man. You know, and they basically trying to demand more money because and I'm sure they do have a very rigorous job, So they probably like, look, man, it's some BS. They probably ain't getting treated right.
Mm-hmm.
Because every aspect of America is through. All right, everybody is working hard and not getting their due pay. All right, so hey, they're and then you had the guy, the president. He's like, look, man, I don't care. He's like, we'll take it past it. we'll take it past there, man.
Yeah, you on demon time, man. Yeah. You can read. You
want me to keep on?
Yeah, the next.
It says, "How ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, all they that bear silver are cut off."
And when you look into Maktesh was a ancient city of laborers of work. All right, so if that city, which that city represents, the cities that's full of work, if that city is cut down, okay, then that means that there's not going to be any more work for other people. Okay, a lot of people depend on these ports, man. You have certain medical facilities. If they don't have the supply, how could they stay in the business? So not only is the strikers going to hurt the consumer, it's also going to hurt the other workers in these other industries, man. Okay, it's not going to be a high demand for workers. It's going to be more high demand for the product, and when you have a higher demand for product, then that's where hyperinflation comes from.
Right.
Okay, because the demand for product is high, but the product itself is short. So the value of that particular product goes up because the demand is higher, but the product is scarce. So that's where you get inflation and hyperinflation from. And we're already in an inflated market right now. Okay, you had anything you want me to pull up?
This is another article, ABC News, going to the same thing. It says, this is an excerpt from it. It says, a strike lasting only a handful of days would wreak little damage, but a prolonged work stoppage of several weeks or months could drive up prices for some goods and cause layoffs at manufacturers as raw materials dry up. So just like basically going into that, the merchant people are cut down.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna cause, like you said, it's gonna cause other industries, the plants, all these different things that keep these because they all work in tandem with each other, man.
It's gonna be a domino effect.
That's it.
Yep. Yeah, and it says all they that bear silver are cut off because this economy was only designed to endure for a certain amount of time. See, he saw within his plans, within his agendas, is to break down and build up. So a part of the breaking down is to destroy the current American economic system, dealing with the U.S. dollar, which is now why you see that through 2020, the dollar has gotten more scarce, but the value of it, has increased.
Right.
But how many companies now you see don't take the dollar no more?
Yeah, it's increasing.
It's increasing. You see that? So the rarity of it, is increasing, but the demand is increasing also. So you got to think this economy is designed to tank, man. Okay, you have some, bro.
Going into that same article is a little bit more. It says the upward pressure of, let me see, basically what you were saying. A prolonged East and Gulf Coast port strike could moderately increase prices for a range of goods. That upward pressure on prices would result from a shortage of products caught up in the supply chain blockage, leaving too many dollars chasing after too few items. They added. That's exactly what you said, supply and demand, because now you're spending way more, to get this product to the delivery point, and it's just not worth it. It's not even, that demand goes up.
Like Venezuela.
Exactly.
Well, a cheeseburger at one point in time was $17 for one particular cheeseburger.
Right.
So the demand for the burger was higher and it was lower. I'm
Mhm.
sorry, the demand was higher, but the supply was lower.
Supply was lower, yeah.
So you have to pay more because the demand is higher. So that's what's going to happen here in America. We're going to see extreme levels of price gouging, okay, and hyperinflation, and it's going to cause some very very unhappy citizens. You know, yeah, more bro.
Yeah, that was it. We can.
Yep. I got the scripture right here for
okay.
you. This is
Yeah.
I'll read it.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Ecclesiastes 12:4. And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low.
Yeah, so hey man, the doors being shut, you know, you're gonna have businesses being boarded up, you know, basically got the little what they call that like in Texas they got the tumbleweed, you know.
Oh yeah, tumbleweeds.
You know, it's gonna be basically no more you know, business is gonna be tough, man.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, all these we saw a glimpse of that during the C19.
Yeah.
All right, we saw a lot of mom and pop businesses close, you know, because they can't sustain, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's just too expensive. The rent don't stop getting paid.
Right.
So when they can't cover their rent, then what? The landlord comes now. He's like, all right, look, man, I
need my property.
Yeah. So then you're gonna have, but the only things that's really gonna stay open is your big businesses like Amazon. You know, you're gonna have Walmart, but then that's also gonna, you know, those are gonna be inflated as well.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be all out, you know. But it's when the sound of the grinding is low. So grinding is synonymous with work.
Yeah.
You know,
and this could also lead to more political tension.
Mm-hmm.
You know, considering that this is happening under the Biden/Democratic administration.
Yep.
You know, a lot of these red Republicans or these right wings could really crank up a civil war.
Yeah, because they're pissed off. You know, they always talking about Biden.
Right.
This is the result of Biden.
Biden regime.
Biden economy. You know, because you know, truthfully so, the economy was in a little bit better shape under Trump.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it's gonna fall.
Mm-hmm.
And we did a lesson on that. You know, a couple weeks back. It don't matter who's president, man.
It don't matter.
You know.
Yeah, that's right. You know, so we looking at the end time. End time prophecy is manifesting before the face of all. It's only those who have the spiritual eyesight to see can see it. You know, and there's going to be more controversial situations that's going to play out here in the near future. You know, there's always something in the election year. You know, so we knew that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read another one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is Isaiah 19:14. The Lord have mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. And if you look at what's going on in the world right now, there's a very perverse spirit really here in America. Okay? When you look into the word perversity, it goes back to diversity, which goes into the word wickedness. Okay? And there's a perverse spirit because of all this diversity, diverse lust and diverse spirits.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got, the LGBT community. Okay? You got all these different quirky weirdos. You got Satanism. You got atheism. You got Christianity, Islam, Buddhist. You got universal believers, astrology, witches. You got warlocks, and you know, you got these entertainers. You know, there's a plethora of many different spirits out here that's mingled together, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's leading to more wickedness, man. Okay, it says, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. Okay, so everything about this place is finished, man. It's an error. From the food that we eat to the water that we drink to the stuff that we take in on a daily basis from a TV, from a phone, and a computer. All right, the relationship between man and woman is an error. The court system is an error.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, everything is through. It says, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. A drunken man staggering in his vomit. First and foremost, that man has no stability in himself. And he's wallowing in the vomit that he threw up. That's America. There's no prosperity in that. Okay? Verse 15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt. Okay, now when you read this scripture, this is not talking about ancient Egypt. Okay, that Egypt is America. Okay,
Yeah.
that's in the book of Revelation, the 11th chapter, which we got queued up. The scripture said that there's not going to be any more work for Egypt. Okay, even as in the time of ancient Egypt, when there was no more work, because why? The Lord was liberating the Israelites.
Yeah.
So upon this second Exodus, out of the second Egypt, the job markets are going to crash. And the Lord is going to provide for us in that day. Okay, we just dealt with a hurricane that came through here. And guess what, man? Through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI, all the brothers checked in. All the brothers is good, man. Everybody's straight, man. The Lord took care of brothers. But then you got certain people out here that got flooded, got water damage, trees falling, cars fucked up. I think like right now the total 11 people died. So it was straight up and down chaos coming through the southeast. But guess what? The Lord watched over his men. So we know that when this economy falls, he going to look after those that been representing him. Okay?
I got something.
Yep, you got it.
2nd Ezra 15:11. But I will bring them out with a mighty hand and stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before and will destroy all the land thereof. So also proving the point, because it says smite Egypt as with plagues as before.
Yep, that's right.
So what's this talking about? It's talking about this current kingdom we're in, man. Because Egypt was obviously it was an ancient kingdom, but certain the Lord will use certain words or certain places to represent America, such as Babylon, Egypt.
That's right. Sodom and Gomorrah.
Sodom and Gomorrah. Yep. It says, verse 12: Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. Now, was one of the main foundations of America today is goods.
Yes.
The transport, the what do you call it? Imports and exports. Import and exportation of goods, man. That's the foundation of it. With that could spiral, like you said, the domino effect. With that going down, could potentially especially the timing of the election. Hey, in the next few months, maybe November, December, a lot can happen, man.
Yeah, bro. Yes. And not to mention the war that's going on in Israel and in the Middle East.
Yep.
So you see that YAHAWASHI is increasing these prophecies, man. These things are getting ready to come to a full head. Okay? And then we got to be moving full steam ahead, because we know that eventually, man, the Lord is going to shut this place down. So we can't have too much invested in this goddamn place. We got to get in and get out of here, man.
That's it.
Okay? I'm gonna go back to that. Isaiah 19:15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. So that's talking about from your CEOs to your big wigs, company man, all these owners to the low ball workers. It ain't gonna be nothing for nobody to do, man. Because why? Because everything is transitioning to a digital prison. Okay? Esau is about to introduce the NWO, man. And it's going to be governed by what we call the micro C-HIP. Okay? Which the Bible calls the MOTB, which is an acronym, for, Revelation 13 and 16. For those of you that know, you know.
Yeah.
And that's what they're getting ready to try to do. So they have to liquidate these markets.
Yeah.
And then they have to, when they liquidate these markets and they bring the supply down and the demand goes up, it puts the consumer in a position to where they're forced to meet the demands of the distributor.
Yeah.
And they're going to say, well, in order for you to get these goods, you got to have this.
Right.
So it's all a digital prison.
Well, certain goods that aren't of a necessity, I mean, people ain't even going, especially with there being a shortage of work. You're not going to be able to afford TVs and all this other extra shit, man. You're going to be, food. Necessity. I need food, toilet paper. Like C19, perfect example. Number one, you had they blocked off people that weren't essentials what they call them, essential workers.
Yeah, essential workers. Yeah.
If you wasn't a nurse or some, in some type of emergency field where you're needed, maybe power or bank or whatever, if you didn't have, yeah, man, you wasn't working, man.
Mm-hmm.
So hey, that's same. There's not gonna be any work, man, unless in that day you got some type of specialized work where you're so-called needed, But a lot of like the elder went into, a lot of these really goods that aren't of a necessity, man. Hey, those industries they're done.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, women can get their hair done and nails,
right.
and hey, man, you ain't gonna be worried about going to the damn barbershop, in these times soon, man.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, we about to really see a full scale 180, and a lot of people, like you mentioned, the whole 2020 fiasco. A lot of people still haven't recovered from that shit.
Mm.
A lot of people lost a lot, man.
Trauma.
They lost their, businesses that they might have had, their family businesses. They lost, certain savings, savings accounts, probably got in debt, defaulted on, loans and all kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are still trying to recover from that. So imagine another economic hit of such proportions. This could really devastate, the worker and the consumer, man.
Right.
And that's going to bring, this could very well bring into a time of Jacob's trouble. Which we'll finish off on the scripture. This is Daniel 12:1. And you can break it down.
Yeah.
It says, and at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, was standing for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that shall be found written in the book.
Yeah, hey, well, at the top, you see it says the time of the end. All right,
Mm-hmm.
This is basically an end time prophecy, but it says there shall be a time of trouble, which you can link that with Jeremiah 30:7, man.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob's trouble.
Yeah, that's right.
Such as since there was a nation, basically there was nothing precedented. There's nothing in history that will ever be able to top the destruction of that's coming here soon, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it says the people at the same time. So it's twofold, because there's going to be a destruction, but then the elect is going to be delivered, man.
That's right.
Everyone that's found written in the book, which is the elect. So hey, with destruction also comes deliverance. But hey, man, time of trouble is coming. And then speaking of that, Jeremiah 30:7, it says, "But he shall be saved out of it."
Yeah, that's right.
And I think it also says that same thing, such as was never. I think it goes into that same. Matter of fact,
yeah, it's in the book of Matthew 24. Where it speaks about that there's going to be time on the earth that the earth has never seen.
Yeah,
and that's a very profound statement.
Right.
Because when you think about it, man, the earth has seen some very, very bad times, man.
Right.
We talking about the dark ages of the bubonic plague. We talking about the Great Chinese Famine. We talking about the transatlantic slave trade.
Yeah, that's a lot.
We talking about catastrophic flooding that the Lord sent on the world. We talking about a real deal trouble. And the Lord said that the time that's coming is going to top that. That should put you in fear.
Yeah. That's it.
And then it's also stating that it'll never be another time of destruction as great as this also. So this is a very profound moment in our life.
Right. It's a threshold. It's like this is the climax of the movie. The climax, because before the climax, which is like basically when you watch a movie, like for instance, when the bad guy and the good guy finally meet and they're fighting and things are happening, and then after that you have basically a decline in action, the result of it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But we got the climax of the movie. This is the hot point, man.
Yeah.
The turning point. Of when things are really gonna shift.
Mm-hmm.
Good versus Jacob versus Esau, man. We're gonna see, and then we mentioned earlier, with this election, You know, you're gonna have racial clashes. You know, so-called race war. You know, and things of that nature, man. Hey, this stuff is. Matter of fact, the elder here spoke to a gentleman, a guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know, Edomite, and hey, man, he was speaking on those things, man.
Mm-hmm. He is a prepper.
You know,
he was talking about you know, civil war is gonna happen. He had all kind of guns. He mentioned the three B's: beans, butter. Beans, bullets, and bandages. And you know, he was ex-military. He said that was something that they lived by. That was their motto. You know, he was going into how, you know, he freeze drying eggs. He got food and stuff stored up. And he said, I hope that what I'm preparing for is it actually never happens. But he said we're so far into, you know, this transition that he knows for a fact that there's going to be a reset.
it's inevitable.
It's inevitable, man.
Mm-hmm.
Even certain members on the left hand side even know it.
Yeah.
You know, that's not of the elite. You know, because there's a spirit of prophecy that's in the earth.
Yeah.
And the Lord is, you know, certain people are aligning with that with those prophetic events for the sake of the will of the Lord coming to pass.
Yes.
But you still gonna have certain Edomites that got to play the position in the race war.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every Edomite ain't gonna just be lost because they ain't in the Illuminati.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got certain Edomites that know what the F is going on. They just not, you know, of the elite stock, but they prepping. They got bug out shelters, bug out bags. They storing up their guns, and you got the elect, the brothers on the other side that's prepping spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
So, cause it's all for the purpose of the will of the Lord to be done, man.
That's it.
You know, you had something else?
Oh no.
Yeah, man. You know, so we just wanted to touch on that, man. You know, if this goes down, I mean, this has some very, very, you know, steep, you know, implications, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lord willing, that was an edifying lesson. We want to give all praises, glory, and honor to
YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Kakodash.
Hey, double honors once again to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and many blessings to the elect. Shalom.
Shalom.